Hey, how y'all doing out there in YouTube land? This Stiletto coming at you from the Wild Wild West. Well, today we have an unboxing. Unboxing today. And this one's coming from eBay. And I think it's something special. So anyway, let's go ahead and check this out. Looks like it was taped up super duper well. So we're gonna have to I want a shark's foot blade for this one. Okay. Let's see how I'm gonna go about this. Boy, he or she or whoever really taped this one up. Let me see what we got going here. Is it supposed to go this way? Okay. That was probably got some goop on the blade now. There we go. Oh, we got a little note in here too. Greetings, Stiletto. I recognized your EB name and figured this was right on, right on. This was the Stiletto coming to you from the Wild Wild West, and I'm one of your YouTube video. I'm a fan of your YouTube videos. I told my wife, I bet it's you. Are going on his new AD20S drop point, M390. I look forward to seeing your install video of these awesome scales. I hope you enjoy them. OG makes excellent scales. Keep up the good work. Way to go. And his name. Awesome. Awesome. Yes, I am going to install these, but not on the M390 drop point. That one I already made. I made it with the scales I got straight from OG Goat. I made it just like I was telling you guys I was going to make it with the open back. And this is the what do you call it? The shark's tooth pattern. Shark's tooth pattern, and these are what they call the fresh scales, the fresh finish, which is like a polished finish or whatever. They do it so that you say you can anodize it. I just like, I like, you know me, I like shiny things. But there's the drop point. And I wasn't able to use the skiff bearings. I made a video of when I received this one, and when I received these scales. I received them the other day, like on Thursday, I think it was. I received them on Thursday, and I went ahead and put it together, and I tried to use the skiff bearings. The only way the skiff bearings will fit in them is if you don't use the washers that you're supposed to put up against the titanium scales. And I tried it like that for a minute, and I saw that it was wearing a little line into the titanium from the bearings. And I said, no, I'm not going to do it like that. And so I just went ahead and put the washers against the liner, against the scales like you're supposed to, and use the stock bearings, in the stock way that you're supposed to use the stock bearings. And it works perfectly. The fit and finish is awesome. But I thought I was going to be able to use the skiff bearings. I think I can make this so I can use the skiff bearings very easily if I Dremel out, get like a Dremel tool or something where I can take out a little bit more. I don't know about the thickness of that washer, because that's what makes a difference, is the thickness of the washers. If you could take out just enough surface area that's about the same thickness of the washers, so the washer sits in that much deeper, and then you can use the skiff bearing. Then you would be able to use the skiff bearings. But I just worry about doing it level because I don't have a way to do it, you know, evenly or level in a level way or whatever. Like with a drill, I don't have a drill press or anything like that. Something that would spin perfectly level. And so I'm sort of leery about doing that, you know, because I know I could probably do it, but I'm just kind of leery about doing it because these scales aren't cheap and I don't want to mess them up. And so what I think I'm going to do, what I try to do is I contacted Skiff, the Skiff Bearing Company, and I sent them what do you call it? An email or whatever, a message, you know, asking them if they can make bearings for the S models. Because that's all we need to do is just get bearings made for the S models. You get bearings made for the S models and you'll be able to put them in all these different, you know, configurations or whatever. But the S model needs to have its own bearings. S model does not use AD20 bearings. S model does not use AD20.5 bearings. S model uses S model bearings. The S model bearings have the same thickness as the AD20.5, and they even sort of look like an AD20.5 bearings, but they're different because they have a quarter of an inch inner diameter, whereas the AD20.5 bearings are 6 millimeters. So that's the difference. They're 6 millimeters with a 1 millimeter thickness. The ones for the S models need to be a quarter of an inch inner diameter with a 1 millimeter thickness. And I haven't found anybody that makes bearings like that. Everybody that makes a quarter inch inner diameter, they want to give you like a 1/16 of an inch thickness for the bearings. And that's too thick. It won't work with these. It'll work with the AD20, but not with the AD20S model. But anyway, so until then, I'm just going to use the stock bearings because I really like these scales. These scales are awesome. These scales are beautiful, but they are heavy though. They make this one weigh 7 ounces, I think. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked, aren't I? Let's take a look at these new scales. These are the ones I got off of eBay. Got them for a great deal too. Got them for a great deal. This one I paid $175 for the scales. $175 for the scales. And I also had a backspacer that, remember I told you the other way I thought I was going to do it was with the plain backspacer. And I ordered a plain backspacer, titanium plain backspacer, but like a fool, I messed up. And I didn't put down I needed it for the S model. That's what you got to do when you order these things. You got to say that you have the S model. And so they gave me an AD20 model, which is thicker than the S model. So I'm going to have to send this one back to the original goat and exchange it for another one. But I don't even know if, because I sort of like it like this now, so I don't even know if I want to do that. Maybe just give me credit or something. I don't know. It would be kind of cool to get the plain one though, because like this one has the groove, and this one has the other back. But this one has the same back as this one. So let's check it out. Now, if I remember right, these are supposed to be a different finish, like a stonewash finish or something. You're not the polished finish. But those look nice. Oh yeah, those, we got the washers in them. Got washers in both of them. Good, so I got all the parts. Oh, cool! You gave me all the stuff that comes with that, and the nice backspacer. That one sort of got a polish to it. I don't know, people. I don't know. Maybe we will do a little bit of tooling here, because I think I'm gonna put this one on this one. I think it's gonna look cool on that one. Awesome. These will be really nice for my next one that I have coming in. I got one more S model. Yep, I did it. I got one more S model. One more S model. I didn't get one of the super expensive ones though. I didn't get like the L Max or an N390. I just got another D2. Because I got a really good deal on another one. Just happened today. So I'll probably be getting it next week or something. And that's when we'll build this one. Okay. So anyway, these are all my goats. This is my herd of goats right here. These are my goats. These are the goats. My herd of goats. T8. As you can probably tell, I love the original goat scales. Oh, that just fell out. Okay, you're helping me out there. That's cool. Okay. Making it easy. All right. All right. Oh yeah, that looks sweet. Okay, I like that better. I like it better. I like the original goat backspacers. What do you guys think? That's the crowning touch on this one. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Love it. These are my absolute favorite knives, people. My absolute favorite knives, the AD20 series. I like all of the AD20 series. I want a Tonto next. That'd be the next one I hope the Demkos make, is a Tonto. For this same knife, for the AD20S and AD20. I don't know about Tonto. Tonto would be cool for this one too, for aesthetic, purposes. But I think Tonto blades, when they get too small, they sort of start to lose their, I don't know, their functionality or whatever you want to call it. Okay, let's weigh some things out. I want to show you what the differences are in the weights All these are knives they're AD20 models. These are AD20.5s, and these are AD20S models that have all been modified with original goat parts. All the parts are original goats. All the scales, all the back spacers, the pocket clips are all Lynch except for this one. This one is a Chinese one from eBay. The black one is, because I couldn't find black ones from Lynch Northwest. So I had to go ahead and get one of the cheap ones off of eBay. But it works though, you know. I've been using them on all my black knives, and they work just fine. The only thing bad about them is that the retention is not as strong as like the Lynch Northwest clips. The Lynch Northwest clips are better. They are a better clip. Okay, let me see. First off, let's weigh. These are the aluminums for the AD20s. I just want this is a goat party. We're having a goat party. .9 ounces. That's aluminum. Aluminum with the V-groove backspacer. Aluminum backspacer. Aluminum scales from a original goat. The pocket clip is from eBay. That's that one. Next one up. 3.9 ounces again. This aluminum. This is a shark's foot with the nuts pattern with this green ceramic coating. The other one has black ceramic coating. And this one has the ball groove with the shark's foot blade without DLC coating. Okay, next one up would be my titanium original goat with the same backspacer as we just put on this one. The same style of backspacer. This is a stone wash finish titanium with titanium original goat pocket clips. All these pocket clips are titanium on all these knives. And let's see what this one weighs. .9. So we've gone from 3.9 to 4.9. So we've added an ounce to put the titaniums on here. But they are beautiful. These are beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. It's a cool way to modify your original style AD20.5s. The original style AD20.5s didn't have the nice pivots like the new ones are having. That's the only difference, but all these handle scales will fit perfectly on the old style or the original style AD20.5s. The ones with the Oz 10 and the D2. And here we go. This is one of my favorites. This one has had a ton of pocket time with me. I absolutely love this one. It might be one of my favorites of my group of S models. But I love this one. This was natural aluminum, and then I polished this part and this part, the edges of the handle scales. The smooth parts of the handle scales. Absolutely love this knife. This is one of my favorite all-time knives of all time. For this size of knife. When you hear me say that, I'm talking about this size of knife. I'm not talking about all knives, because it doesn't compare to like You know, all my XL old school cold steels and stuff like that. You know, that's another category. To me, that's a totally different category than this size of knife. When you're talking like 5.5 inch, you know, cold steels and 6 inch cold steels, 6.5 inch cold steels, or 7.5 inch cold steel blades for folders. You know, so that's a totally different story. These knives are what I would call EDC knives. The XL knives are, I would call, not, if you live in a city or something like that, they're not EDC knives. I call them special occasion knives. When you feel like you need to carry a big giant knife for whatever reason. But to me, it's not an everyday carry. An everyday carry is something like this. To me, you know, anywhere from 3 to 4 inches is what I call everyday carry. I would even stretch it out to 4.5 inches, because you know 4.5 inch knives aren't all that big either. You know, it just depends on how they're made. Like my 391 BK, I carry that one all the time too, and I think that's a 4.5 inch blade. I'm not sure. I know it's over 4 inches, and the Spartan's over. I think it's like a 4.5 inch blade also, if I'm not mistaken. And I'd carry that one too. But I tend to like to carry knives like in between 3.5 to 4 inches. Those are my favorite knives to carry. And if I want to carry a small knife, I like to carry them in between 3 and 3.5 inches. This is my favorite small knife of all time. And these are my favorite, I would call, was it medium large maybe? Like a medium large knife? Because I don't know if I want to call these really like a large knife. I would call them medium large. This is like the beginning of large. When you like at a 3.5 inch blade size, to me it's like the beginning of knives when they start to get big. And to me, a big knife, it's a knife that really fits my hand comfortably. And this knife fits my hand so comfortably. Andrew Demko made some of the best knives ever to me. I'm sure, you know, I know a lot of other knife makers are a lot more, you know, they're known for making fancier things and maybe more precision things and things like that. You know, like you know, different makers and stuff like that, and they charge outrageous amounts of money for their knives and stuff. But for me, I like knives that function. And Andrew Demko is excellent at making beautiful functioning knives. Knives that actually, you know, can get a job done. You know, knives that are actually strong and durable, and you can depend on with your life. You know what I mean? He doesn't make knives that are just, you know, all about style and the style overrides the function of the knife and the safety of the knife. He's not into that. He's into making things that are first safe, durable, and trustworthy, and then he adds a little bit of flair to it. And he knows what works. He knows these kind of handles work. He knows these kind of handles. You know, that's the reason why, you know, I've been showing you Demko handles. He's been making the same type of handles forever. You know, ever since I've been knowing about Andrew Demko, he's been making the same types of handles, and I love his handles. I love his handles. To me, they're the best. And this one, after you polish it, I might do the same thing to this one too. Because I bet you I can make this one be a lot like this one. You know, polish this one the same way I polish this one. Just this part and the back side of it, but leave this part all the same. But even though that's already looks like it's semi-polished already, I might do that one the same way. Because I'm going to leave the scales that I got today, I'm going to leave them the finish that they are. That one's going to be a duller finish, because the blade that it's going to be going with is a Sharksfoot blade. The one that I got a good deal on today is a Sharksfoot. Got it off of eBay. I offered a person a certain amount of money, and we went back and forth for a minute, and then we agreed on a price, and I bought it. And it's a good price. It's a really fair price, I think, for the knife. But when that one gets here, that one's going to get the pineapple scales. And so that's when you'll see the pineapple scales. So then I have 2 aluminums and 2 titaniums. Absolutely love them. And this backspacer that you just gave me today, that I just received today, I'm gonna polish it out a little bit more too. So I got a little bit of polishing to do. The next time you see this knife, it'll be a lot like this, where it'll be all polished. Not the blade, I'm not talking about polishing the blade or anything. I'm just talking about polishing the edges along here and stuff like that on the handle scales. I absolutely love original goat stuff, people. Original goat stuff is the bomb. All right, let's weigh out the S models so you guys can see what the difference is in these. Now, I will tell you the S models, when it's having the Grivery handle scales, they only weigh 5.1 ounces. The S model with the Grivery handle scales, that's how this one first came. It had blue Grivery handle scales, and it weighed 5.1 ounces. Now, with the aluminum handle scales from original goat, now these are solid slabs of aluminum too. They're not thin, or they're not even lightened up or milled out or anything. They're just solid slabs. 6.0 ounces. So these knives are super strong. I think that probably makes these knives super strong the way that they're made now. Now I don't know what would be stronger, the ones with the steel liners or the ones that are all titanium. Because I know these stainless steel liners are going to be stronger than titanium. I don't know. Steel's stronger than titanium. Titanium's stronger than aluminum, but it's not stronger than steel though. This one's 6 ounces. 6 ounces. So aluminum ones, just like these, weigh the same. These were 3.9 ounces, and these are 6 ounces. This one weighed an ounce more than these two. This one weighs 4.9 ounces as opposed to these two weighing 3.9 ounces. These weigh 6.0. Let's see what the titanium one weighs. 7.3. 7.3 ounces. 7.3 ounces. So it weighs 1.3 ounces more than these. And you know what? You can feel the weight. You can feel the weight, but actually that's not any more weight than, what else weighs like 7.2 or 1 or ounces that I just recently did a review on. Oh, my cold steel AD10 with the Tonto point. It weighed 7.2 ounces, I think it was. But the balance on that one was so perfect that it felt super light. It feels super light. Even though it's heavier than the other AD10s, it felt lighter. But anyway, let's check out the balance on it now. As you know, this one's my favorite. Look at that. This has better balance than the ones with the Grivery. Oh, these with the G10 handle scales weigh 5.6 ounces. 5.1 with the Grivery, 5.6 with the G10. And then when you go up to the solid aluminum like this from original goat anyway, they weigh 6 ounces, and then 7.3 ounces with the titanium scales and back spacers. And that's the weight with the titanium, with the aluminum scales and aluminum back spacers, not the little barrel spacers. Little barrel spacers probably weigh less than the titanium back spacers, or maybe even more less than the aluminum back spacer too. Because these are thick, solid aluminum back spacers. Where did I just have it? You know, let's weigh these too. Let's see how much those weigh. Just out of curiosity, weigh the scales by themselves. And here's the back spacer, but this is the wrong back spacer, so I'm not gonna weigh this one because it's an 80/20 back spacer. But I just want to show you how thick these things are. None of the original goat parts are made weak. They're all extremely strong and stout looking. And I think they would add strength to your knife. Okay, let's weigh the scales by themselves. And these scales, as you can see, they're not milled out for the liners. They're just one solid slab of not stainless steel, of titanium. I like the way these are darkened. It's like they got patina on them. I like that. Okay, let's see what they weigh. .4 ounces just for the two scales. 4.4 ounces. So that lets you know there that they, they weigh a lot. I bet you the Grivery scales probably don't even weigh an ounce. That's what the difference is. It's a substantial weight difference. And it'd probably be best, if they want to make these into some performing, scales, to mill them out a little bit. To figure a way to lighten them up a little bit, but still retain the strength of the and the integrity of the handle scale. That might be to the advantage of these. But I sort of like the aluminum ones being solid though, because I don't know, it just makes them strong. But the titanium ones, because they weigh a lot more than the aluminum, I think I would mill them out a little bit. And I don't know how the ones that Andrew Demko has for his custom line, the ones with his titanium scales are. I don't know if they're solid like these, or if he mills them out. I don't know if he does that or not, because he might mill them out. I don't know. I've never seen the inside of one of his titanium ones. Maybe I should go on YouTube and search for that. But I have a funny feeling Original Goat made their scales a lot like the Andrew Demko scales. So I bet you Andrew Demko scales are solid like this too. That's what I'm trying to say. But I can't say for sure because I haven't seen the inside of an Andrew Demko titanium AD20. I don't know what these are all about though. Oh man. And with the titanium scales, with the ones that are heavier, it feels like it has a better sound or clunk or whatever. It just feels a lot more solid. This one feels more solid than this one. Because this whole knife feels a lot lighter. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's the weight does something. I don't know. It does something to you mentally or whatever. But this one feels light. This one feels like the G10 model almost. The G10 model weighs, I was carrying that one around in this form for about 3 or 4 days now, or almost 5 days. And I think I like the weight of this one though. I carried this one to work today, and I had to keep pulling up my pants. I'm being honest, it was heavy. You know me, I'm not used to carrying 7.3 ounce knives, so it was fairly heavy for me. But it was like when I carried my Tonto, my new AD10 Tonto. I carried that one to work too. I tried that one out, and it did the same thing. But that's all it did though. It's just like the weight of it, just kept pulling. It wasn't like it's bulky or anything. It was just the weight. It was pulling my pants down a little bit. I absolutely love it though. I love the way it looks. I love the way it operates. It just gives a knife. It sort of feels like a buck knife. I bet you a buck knife weighs 7.2 ounces or 7.3 ounces. It feels a lot like a buck knife that you could play with. I don't know, these scales, in this formation right here, because they haven't been, heat treated or colored or whatever you call it. But they look sort of like brass. It's sort of like a gold look to them. The natural titanium color. And I like it. It's pretty. And it's not so gold that it doesn't contrast right with the stainless steel parts. And I really like it with your backspacer back here better now. I like this backspacer the best. That style of backspacer, I think that's the coolest backspacer out of all the backspacers. Absolutely love these, people. Absolutely love these. So we're gonna do one more. When the next one comes in, it's gonna get the pineapple scales. And I'll have 4 S models. And I'll be done with my S models. And I'm done with my AD10s, or 8020.5s. But I still want to get an AD20. I still want to get an AD20. I don't have an AD20. But I have enough S models now, and I have enough of these, so I don't need any more of these. All right, people. Peace out. Stiletto. I'm going to try to get this one out there for you guys tonight. I think we covered everything we needed to cover. One more thing I wanted to do before I forget about it. This is why my videos always go all long and stuff, because I don't know how to edit and do all those fancy things, and so we just have to do it the way that it is live. I want to show you guys the thickness. These are some stout scales. These aren't some wimpy scales, okay? It's almost 5 millimeters thick. Okay. Is that 4.7 something? It's like 4 3/4. That's thick. .69 it says there. Maybe I should do it like this. 4.67, 4.65, 4.64. Okay, 4.65 or so. Okay. But y'all just see that? So y'all know that these aren't thin scales. These are some heavy duty scales. Very nice scales. Highly recommend them, but they will add weight. Not as much weight as like brass or copper, but they do weigh a lot. They weigh more than the aluminum ones. But I'd say they're probably like an ounce heavier than the aluminum ones. That like, was it 1.3 ounces to be exact. I absolutely love them, people. Highly recommend them. I love my original goat stuff. All right, well, that's about it. I think we covered about everything. Give you guys one more look. This aluminum with ceramic coating. This is an OG2 pattern with the V-groove backspacer. Beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful, people. And these ones aren't that expensive. I think these were like $80 or $90 or something like that. They're not as expensive as the titaniums. The titanium ones are really the only ones that are expensive on the table. These were the least expensive. I think these were like $75 or something like that. And the backspacer was like $25 or something like that. So it's like $100 to do this mod. With a clip, it's like $123 or $25, like $125 to do the mod, total mod. In the old style, what do you call it? The old style AD20S models. Those are the ones that you can get good deals on. The new ones with the LMAX and the M390, those are the expensive ones. The ones that you should be able to get a good deal on. Well, I mean a good deal for one of these is like in between $300 and $500. I'm keeping it real. I'm talking about the secondary market because I don't know. I've tried to get them, you know, like when they first come out and stuff like that, and I never make by the time I get to the drop, it's gone. It's like, you know, so I gave up on trying to do that. And so the way I've purchased all of mine all of these, all the S models, I'm not talking about the AD20.5s. You can get those at any online dealer. They're available in lots of places, especially like the Knife Center. You know, Knife Center's always got all the newest and latest models of these. but these and the AD20s are almost like impossible to get. The only way you can really get them is on the secondary market. And you got to buy them off of people that are probably buying up all the drops, and then they go on eBay and then they double the price of them. But for like the old models, like the one I bought today, you know, you can make deals. I bought one today for $355. For $355. And it's one of these. It's the S model with the grivery handles. It's with yellow grivery handles. And that's the one that's going to get the pineapple, the pineapple titanium scales. But the S models, you know, I mean, the original models are just as fun as the new models. That's what I'm trying to tell you. The handles and everything are exactly the same. The only thing that's different is that the new models, you get the nicer blade steels. You get the like the M390 and L Max and Crew Wear. I think those are the three, and I think they even have them in 3V also. But you know, you get a nicer choice of blade steels, but it's hard to get them for under $700 or $800. So the bargain to me is to get one of the old models from like about $300 to $500. You feel me? You know, but you know, you're going to getting the Austrian D2, the K110 D2 blades, which aren't as nice as the M390 or the Crew Wear or the 3V or whatever. But my experience with these blades is that they're super sharp. And this is a knife that gets used all the time. The M390 is super sharp too, though. You know, so they're all sharp. You know, so, you know, being sharp is not really an issue. It's just a matter of different steels. I guess, you know, it matters what kind of steel that you want, I guess. But if you feel like you don't have to have the best steel, but you really just want to experience the knife, I would get one of the D2 ones. Because the D2 ones are, you know, they're still very expensive though. You know, they're, you know, to me a $300 to $500 knife is more than I've ever spent on knives. I've spent more on these new AD20s than I've ever spent on any other folders in, you know, the history of my knife collecting pretty much. Because I don't spend that much on, you know, I never like to try to go over $200. But I really like these. I like them a lot better than any of the other knives I've tried. I think I've tried just about every different type of Loctite. And I like these the best. I'd rather have these than a butterfly knife. I love butterfly knives, or balisons. But you know, they're not legal here. But these are just as fun to use as a balison. I mean, these are really awesome knives. The AD20S models. And the AD20S models is really just the big brother to the AD20.5. The AD20.5 to me is not a downsized version of the AD20, but it is a downsized version of the AD20S model. Because they got the same thickness blade. It's got a smaller blade, and it's got a shorter handle. And these handles right here, for the size of my hand, I don't know, whatever size my hand is, I don't know, it might be medium, large, or something like that. But it fits my hand perfectly. And then when you polish the edges like this on these scales, oh man, this feels so good against your hands and your fingers. I mean, you know, if you're gonna compare knives, you know, this would be a Cadillac, and a lot of the other knives would be more like Volkswagens. But this is a very comfortable knife to use, and it's easy to use. I mean, and this one has the stock bearings, but like I said, if they ever make some custom bearings for the S models, I would be all over those. Skip bearings, make some custom bearings. Taco bearings, make some custom bearings. Who's gonna make them first? Skip or Taco? Who's gonna make these bearings first for the S models? Nobody's making them yet. Somebody get busy. But anyway, people, peace out. Stiletto.